All right, what's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? So now that Braun business is out the way, and again, like I said, man, I had to say what I had to say, and already I've been called out in a couple of comments. Let's talk about the Knicks. Season is opening on Wednesday. We play Cleveland. Um, Play Cleveland, and we get Boston right off the bat on Friday. Knicks is ready to rock, man. Knicks ready to rock. It's gonna be two tests. I ain't gonna lie. Cleveland got something to prove. Knicks got Boston got something to prove, man. I don't. The Knicks got to be on their game. Um, shout out to Mike Brown. Looks like he's you know, ready to come up with something. Look, the tell will tell when the Knicks get on the floor. And look, it might take a few games. I don't have any predictions on what the Knicks will open up the season with. Like I'm talking about first 10, 15 games, but I would hope that the Knicks will be around 10-5 at minimum. You know what I'm saying? I do have a high expectation that they're going to. I've only looked at the first two games, and I think that's a big test. Even with Boston being what they are, I think the Knicks should go out there, fired up, impose their will. I think the Knicks should go up, fired up. Cleveland, there's a lot of people say that people think that's going to be a conference finals preview. Um, the Knicks should be ready to come out there and make a statement. I'd be very disappointed if they didn't. Look, they could lose the game, they could win the game. I just think come out there, show that the new system that you want to run is working. I know the Knicks didn't run too many plays. They kept it very vanilla in the preseason. And I think the Knicks are waiting to show. I think I've been hearing a reporter ask what Karl Anthony Towns what his new role is in the offense, and he said, "I don't know, honestly." I think that's a smokescreen. Shout out to Zay because he sent me that clip. I think that's a smokescreen. All right, so hey, look, this is the optimistic Knicks fan, man. I think this is going to be one of the greatest seasons in Knicks history. I think again I'm going out on a limb and I'm calling the Knicks winning the championship. But of course, anybody that's ever competed in anything knows. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bout of nervousness when it's time to take set the floor. I was nervous when I did my first episode of 10 Toes Down. I was nervous when I was actually called on to be a guest on GoCast podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I came through. I came through. Like I said, I'm very, very transparent, man. I'm nervous with public speaking and all shit like that. So to come on YouTube and do this is not the easiest thing, but when you're passionate about what you say, what you feel, it comes easy. And like I said, at this point, I'm addicted to it. Doing the videos is not. If you notice, these videos aren't that smooth. And doing the videos, I got to start to put the quality into it when I get a chance. But for now, I'm just going off the dome, just taking the phone out and recording. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking the phone out, recording, and that's that. Um, again, I get called out on some of the things I got to say, but look, the key to the Knicks series. The key to the Knicks season this year is to really implement that two-man game, to really optimize, play faster, move the ball, shoot more threes because we shot at a very great percentage last year. We shot like the Knicks were a very efficient offense, but we played too slow, and we were still a very good offense, but it was one of those things where in the regular season against elite teams, we kind of struggled. We were great in close games. You know, key to the season: rebounding. Mitchell Robinson, defense. Mitchell Robinson he brings the needle. And again, I got him on both of my fantasy teams. I actually got him on three of my fantasy teams. Because again, I think people are sleeping on him. I think he's gonna play a good amount of minutes. They're gonna bring him. They're gonna bring him along slowly. He's not gonna play too many back to backs. They're gonna be, Thibodeau is somebody who never rested anybody. This Knicks organization, with Brown and them, they're gonna understand that you're gonna have to rest you're going to have to give rest days to a guy like Mitch Robinson. The grind of the season can get to you. Again, look, his injuries have always been bang injuries. It's not like he has anything chronic going on, but it just so happens that, you know, when you get a bunch of bang injuries, when you get a bunch of awkward falls and broken hands and sprained ankles and shit like that, you gotta limit the workload of a person like that, because the stress factor of those injuries can recur, can reoccur. And, look, the bench has gotten better. I would like to have a more experienced point. I really like Brogdon, man. I was a Brogdon fan for all 9 years he was in the NBA. I know he took a lot of injuries at the end, but I was a Brogdon fan. He was a 4-year player at Virginia, great defender, moves the ball. Really had no weaknesses in his game other than he wasn't. He was a pretty good athlete too in his younger days, but wasn't the quickest guy. Very methodical. Remind me a lot of Andre Miller type. You know what I'm saying? But even a little bit bigger. He was like 6'4", 6'4 and a half, 6'5". Good rebounder, good shooter. Was 50, 40, 90 guy, I believe, 1 year. So, yeah, man, him retiring, that was a kick in the groin. But, it's just opportunity for the next guy. I believe in Kolek. I think Lee Kolik's going to be a pretty good pro one day. Backup point guard. Doubt he'll be a starter 1 year. I think he reminds me a lot of a C.J. McCollum. So, a guy you need to keep in there. He deserves to be in the league. He's really good as a point guard, can move the ball. I just want to see him get stronger, shoot better. Shout out to Deuce McBride. Shout out to OG Anunoby. Looks like Josh Hart is going to start the season on tonight. He brings a lot. We need him and his hustle and his ability to chase down, having a guard like that can rebound off the bench. He can balance out the do-it-yourself nature of one Jordan Clarkson, who likes to shoot the rock a lot. So there's a lot that I look forward to. The competition in the East, got a lot of respect for it, but I don't think any other team has a top to bottom roster as good as the Knicks. Don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So that don't mean the Knicks are going to win. Again, it's all about getting to April, getting to that second week of April, getting to the play. You get your practices in when everybody's doing the play-in. Knicks should not be a playing team. You get a good week of practices in, and then you get ready for a playoff run. And I'm praying and hoping and believing that the Knicks will take a parade down Broadway come June. Got any travel plans? I will be in New York for June, and I'll make any travel plans after that. But it should be a good year. Mike Brown system. Shout out to Thibodeau for getting the Knicks to this point. I hope that a lot of the things that he instilled in the team. See, I think really the ironing out with Mike Brown is really getting this team to run the offense that's key to him. And again, it starts with the big two. Now, I know if people are critical of them and believe they're the worst defenders in the NBA. I think that's overblown. I think both of them can be smart defenders at times. Both of them can be capable defenders. Brunson, if one thing Brunson can do is he can get in and take some charges. He showed he'll put his body on the line to do that. Karl-Anthony Towns can be a decent shot blocker and rim protector at the 4 position. At the 5 position, he just doesn't move his feet. But if you got a guy that's a 7-footer, it's 7 foot at your 4. In today's NBA, where you got 4s that are like 6 or 7, you got some guys playing power forwards like Draymond Green is 6 for 6. And him and whenever the Knicks play Golden State, based on the little war of words they be having, he got a little rivalry. So with a guy like, but just saying, having guys like 6 for 6, 6 for 7, 6 for 8. Having a legit 7-footer like Karl-Anthony Towns is a great rebounder, great, pretty good back to the basket, can take you out, shoot the 3, stretch you out. I want to see a little bit more mid-range shots from Carnegie Towns. He was really poor in the mid-range last year. Didn't take a lot of mid-ranges at all. I want him to take more threes. Again, like I said last year, Carnegie Towns should get 4 points every single quarter. Like, it's no reason. Like, I'm really gonna try to start counting how many times this guy gets 4 points a quarter. And again, you're talking about 2 baskets. You're talking about a basket and 2 free throws. You're talking about 3, maybe an and 1, a 3 and a free throw. Every quarter, this man should have 4 points that he plays. Unless it's from foul trouble, I'm actually gonna chronicle that. I'm gonna go quarter by quarter and see if this man gets 4 points. Because that's a minimum of 16 points a game. Now, as we know, and I'm not saying just score 4 points. No, he should get at least 4 points. Like, I should show that our ball is running through him at least. So I think, again, I don't know. I think that's a smokescreen. I think they're playing mind games. Okay? But we'll see. Because if I don't see it, I'm gonna start calling Mike Brown out. And I think you Knicks fans should. This man should get 4 points every quarter. There's no goddamn reason. I guarantee you, if we go back and look at quarter per quarter, Jalen Brunson probably scored 4 points in 90% of the quarters, 97%, high 90s% of the quarters. If I go back and chronicle all 82 games and then go to the playoff games, I might do that if I have time. I got a young son, man. This is hard to do, bro. It's hard to find time. It's hard to find time to record this video. That's why I'm doing it in the car, because even if I did it outside, it's real windy down here in Brazil, man. Like, it's getting a little chilly. But even if I did it outside, I'll probably wake him up, man. So, at this point, that's the key to the next season. Rebound, get back to defense, shoot the 3. If you do those basic things, the Knicks are too good. They're too good. We got good defenders. Yeah, teams could beat us on any given night, like anybody else. We could get beaten in a 7-game series. But if the Knicks play to what they do, we have the best. I think we have the best roster in the league. I really do. OKC, Denver, these teams out in the West who they think are like way better than. I mean, I heard somebody say that like 6 or 7 teams in the West are better than the best team in the East. That's fucking crazy. Bro, a team that has Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner and Desmond Bain and Jalen Suggs. You know what I'm saying? Like, no goddamn way. With a Jonathan Isaac to play a lot of good defense and rebound, and a Wendell, like, that's the third best team in the East by my recollection. Giannis alone is better than what the Lakers put out, and people got them in a 4th spot. But at the end of the day, the West do have a better top to bottom conference, but I see a lot of up and comers in the East. I see a lot of up and comers in the West. I see a few up and comers in the West, Portland and San Antonio, to be precise. I see a couple up and comers there, dark horses. I see Toronto as a dark horse in the East. There are not going to be too many easy games. And then again, the Knicks have to play their style. They have to run the offense through the big 2. They have to run the offense through the big 2 and then get it done. Again, it's more than just the big 2. Obviously, Mikal Bridges is going to have a big. People think Mikal Bridges had statistically he had a pretty good season last year. But I get it. It was a lot of inconsistency issues, and I think that was the issue of him being used in offense steadily. This is the idea. The ball has to move, and when the ball moves, guys like Mikal Bridges will eat. Guys like OG will eat. Guys like Towns will naturally eat. These guys will eat. Feed the big man. Run some posts. Run some pick and pops. Run that 2-man game. Like, it's real simple. It's not that hard. Again, I would like another facilitator. I don't think OG and Bridges can step up his facilitation game. Because I think, if again he moves the ball well, the ball move back to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think he'll have a really good season, borderline all-star season. Real talk. If the Knicks could have 3 or 4 All-Stars if we're playing well. If we're hitting on all cylinders, we could have 3 or 4 All-Stars. Arguably last year, Josh Hart could have been an All-Star. I mean, his numbers outside of scoring were across the board better than Jaylen Brown's come All-Star, and Jaylen Brown was an All-Star. Now, again, I'm not going to talk too much about the other teams because I think Jaylen Brown's going to have a big year this year and shit like that. But, Hart goes back to the bench. Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench. Again, people don't like him. People think that's his job, to take shots. I saw Cam Payne in that same position take too many goddamn UFO shots. I'd rather that guy be Jordan Clarkson than Cam Payne. And again, yes, him being the backup point guard, if he's playing that role, kind of scares me. But I think between Kolek, Deuce, Jordan Clarkson, and Josh Hart, you got 4 guards in there who can facilitate and run the show. My only thing is, who's the starting point guard if anything happens to the captain? And you're really gonna make it Deuce, and I don't think that's Deuce's best role. I think he could play that role, but I think we would lose something. But then again, we would have to go just basically pivot to relying more on Jordan Clarkson in the second unit, relying more on Hart, stuff like that. Letting, like what happened last year, running the offense through Bridges a lot. His assists took a little uptick when Josh Hart, when Jalen Brunson was out for from March until the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, things to look out for. I mean, again, just really grind through the schedule. I haven't looked at the schedule. I only looked at the first 2 games. I don't know who we play in game 3. I'm going to start doing that and figuring out. But no, I've just really kind of been, and I think it's been a time issue to really, I've watched some of the Knicks fan TV. I actually watched Nothing But Knicks the other night. I watched some Knicks media. I've admittedly been slacking on my Knicks content. I'm down here in Brazil. Like, got to take care of my kid, got family obligations and shit like that. Then I do the show too. The show is, I'm trying to get the show more about the Knicks. I might try to do a Knicks, when I get set up, I might try to do a Knicks, at least give them a good hour to cover them. As it is, I work with CW, and he has to pretty much produce my show, set it up, because I can't set it up from my phone on the street. I can't set up the live. So I'm always cognizant about taking too much of his time. He has to run his own show on Wednesday and shit like that. So, but yeah, man, I am going to try to pivot into doing Knicks lives. And hopefully I can get some of the people that rock with me. And I can get more Knicks fans in here to talk about Knicks Live, and that'll help my channel grow. Shout out to H30 for giving me that, reminding me that I knew it's something I always wanted to do, something I want to do. And, it's just a matter of finding time, bro. Like I said, I'm doing 2 shows a week. These shows go 4 or 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm already an hour ahead in Brazil, and come November, it'll be 2 hours ahead if I'm trying to be back by November. But I know daylight saving time will end in November, right after Election Day. I've been real talk. I've been going from New York since July, like July 15th. I came down to North Carolina, and then I've been in Brazil since August like 15th, like right for my grandmother's birthday. May God rest her soul. But yeah, I've been in Brazil for 2 months now. And I've been out of New York for basically 3 months. So, so I've been out of, at least out of the city. It looks like we're about to elect a communist mayor or whatever. Shit's going, honestly, it's crazy how the world, the United States always goes up on his head when I'm down here. But, look, I've been chilling. It's been peaceful for the most part. It's been hectic though, because I got a little one. And, weather's been pretty up and down, because it actually is spring, while it's fall up in the northern hemisphere, it's spring down here. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for the season. It's Go Knicks. It's Knicks in 26. It's time. The Knicks will be 26 champions. I believe it. And I will be. Again, it's not about the destination for me. It's about the journey. I'm going to enjoy this season. I enjoyed last season. I believe we had a real shot of winning. We knocked off the defending champions. I felt like we should have won it, and I felt like, the coach and the players as well, both of them got to take blame. OG Anunoby needs to take that ball out. But that's part of the coach's job, right? Letting the players know, hey, we need to run clock here. They got to foul us. Don't go a 4 layup. Hit your free throws. Let them foul you. Hit your free throws. But move that ball around. Get fouled. We shouldn't be scared of the foul. We're 80%, damn near 80% foul shooting team. No reason why the Knicks should be scared of hitting free throws at the end of a playoff game. We blew that game one. We were down 3-1. Like, shit that happened to us should have never happened to us. But, again, that's neither here nor there. It's time to put that in the rearview mirror and drive. Like, I remember the Spurs in 2013, after blowing it in 2013 in that Game 6. They were determined the next year. The Knicks do have championship DNA, for those who don't realize. The Knicks do have a little bit of championship DNA. We damn sure have guys that compete. We damn sure got guys that have won at other levels, won at this level and won at other levels, got to the finals. It's there. So, hey, yeah, then Jordan Clarkson got to the finals as well. So, here we go. It's time. It's time to show the world that New York is a serious basketball capital, man. At the pro level, we just have not put it together. We've gotten one guy, we've gotten guys, but we have never put a championship team together. The Knicks are ready to show. We're ready to put our foot down. We're ready to show that we're here. Again, shout out to OKC, shout out to Denver. Those are all the teams I think that are on a level. I think Cleveland is a little level down. I think Cleveland is going, they're good. They're good, no doubt about it. And they're going to show us. They're going to give us our best shot. But I think it's time for the Knicks to really put pedal to the metal, bro. Let's get it. Peace.